I would just like to point out that it's not like the commissioners can't say that we didn't come to them with grievance, asking them if we could, have a commissioners, an oversight committee, citizens oversight committee. And, there was some of them, Eric Gass, Tom Hempel, people were into it. But then quickly, I'm assuming after Chief Detective Ron Zona cracked the whip, whoopsh, at the next meeting, everybody bailed but Eric, and I'll give Eric credit where credit's due. But it was actually brought forward by resident Dawn Lewandowski. Uh, she had said that this would give our community an opportunity to address their grievances with the police department to a board that is not emotionally charged and can hold the board and police department accountable for their actions. She said she offered it as a solution to a problem she sees for people who have a complaint. And, I'm one of those people that have a complaint, and I have exercised all proper channels. I followed the chain of command, and they've got the entire county locked down. That I can tell you for certain. But, these now two unlawful arrests that have happened, one on July 27th for criminal conspiracy, as well as defiant trespassing for filming in the public lobby of the police department. And then a new charge that was filed on August 13th for disrupting the meeting. And this is from a July 27th incident. And, just a quick preview on that. The affidavit of probable cause opens up with Officer Bennick, Patrolman Bennick, who was not even at the meeting on July 16th, saying that on July 29th, so now we're talking 2 days after the unlawful arrest, 1 day after the affidavit of probable cause was written, the day that the charges were filed, that's when they come back and say to this guy, and he opens up, I was told to investigate this on July 29th. So clear retaliatory. I mean, this is the textbook example that they are teaching in law schools as far as retaliatory arrest. So, we've had to switch our whole operation from Facebook. Now we're going to be operating on X, on TikTok, trying to get an Instagram up and running, and then a YouTube page because something has gone haywire with Facebook. I did make a new account, which worked for about 3 hours, and then I got this really strange message. Actually, I can bring it up. It just didn't sit right with me. So let's get out of here. We'll come over. Yeah, it's this. Confirm your identity with a video selfie to make sure you're a real person. We need you to record a video selfie. We'll ask you to move your head during. Yeah, I'm good. No, thank you. If that's what Facebook wants to do, I'm good. Anything asking for my biometric data for participation, I'm good on. We'll find somewhere else. Maybe, a lot of people have been suggesting Rumble, so maybe we'll check out Rumble and see what we can do over there. But again, I appreciate those of you that have been following since the beginning, those that jumped on midway through, and especially those that are coming on board now that these videos of these unlawful arrests are taking place, because it's honestly through the exposure in the community. I mean, even the reporter Joe Napshaw with the Trib is starting to come around. We got 2 articles now with 2 decent comments on the current situation with the unlawful arrests. But it's like I wanted to resolve this quietly, and I tried to do that for months. So you're talking about an accident that happened in July. Charges weren't filed until November 14th, ironically, the day of the first meeting that I attended, which they knew I was coming because from July to November, behind the scenes, trying to resolve anything with the police department and with the elected officials proved to be impossible. So, I started at the bottom with peaceful behind the scenes resolution. I've still remained peaceful, but yes, I have started to implement and exercise a lot of the tools that have been given to me through the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and things of that nature to really make sure that I'm being heard. Because again, they're not playing by the rules. So, I'm going to have to work with what they are giving me to work with because that's all I am being given to work with. So I hope that you guys can forgive some of the vulgarity and the profanities at times. It just becomes very frustrating when you know that you're so right, but they look at you as though you're only giving you're like I had to say to the reporter, eventually you guys are gonna have to accept the things I'm saying are not my opinions. They're the laws. This is the Constitution. This is what it grants me. Yes, the courts made this decision about you being able to implement time limits, but it has to be within the it cannot be an arbitrary time limit. I'm talking about public safety issues that affect the whole community. And, the irony of it is there is on the record me talking about things before they happened or before, things came to light in the community. And then boom, there you go. It happens. So it's like, those that know me personally and I have conversations with, they know that I say all the time, I hate being right. I don't want to be right, but it's one of those things where I've done the wrong thing for, so long at certain phases of my life that I just know what certain actions are going to get you. The whole cause and effect thing, learning a lesson. That's what I did. I learned a lot of lessons. And what I'm watching right now is North Huntington did not learn from their lesson with the opioid epidemic when they denied that there was a problem and they hid it from the public. And now I'm watching it happen again. This time we have mold in the school district buildings. Kids are supposed to be back in school in a week. And then we have this entire fiasco with the police department and how they handled the accident on July 7th of 2024. And then that led to the uncovering of everything else. Most recently, we've had a senior citizen beat up in broad daylight at a McDonald's on a major highway. They found some sort of wooden crate on the turnpike exit that they sent off to get tested for explosives, I think it said in the Trib article. We have citizens being unlawfully arrested. We have the police department getting 21 new assault rifles and filing a grievance against the township because they want an extra $1,500 to deck their vests out because they're going to war, right? In the safest township in Pennsylvania, 13th safest in the entire nation, according to a Money Geek review that I'm sure was paid for. Because that's how it all works. The whole Better Business Bureau, the ratings, the Angie's List. I mean, this is a pay-to-play system that we live in. If you pay the money, you'll get the rating. Because anybody that actually lives here locally in North Huntington knows that the statement that we are the safest township in Pennsylvania and the 13th safest in the nation is a heaping pile of dog shit. Dog shit. And those that profess that to be true, we 9 times out of 10, we trace them back in some form or fashion to their benefiting from that lie being told. Most of it is, yes, tied in the property values, but, we shall just carry on telling the truth, showing up, speaking at meetings, letting our voice be heard. They're nuts. But somebody has to do something.